You're here because you want to save money, so don't even click out of this video. Just calm down, relax, and let me put you through some 1 or 2 things that will prevent you from cutting building costs in the wrong areas, because it can lead to disaster. Jesus. Now, what I'm going to be revealing to you is some of the areas that your builder would be cutting costs without your knowledge that can lead to issues in the future. And I'm going to be showing you areas where you can cut costs and then your mind will be at peace. So if this is you and you value these 2 information that I want to give to you, then just relax, grab a cup of coffee, grab something to drink, and watch this video as I educate you. You see, first of all, there's something that I've realized in my 4 years plus of practice. It's not that you people don't have money, it's that you don't believe that you should spend a certain amount of money on building. And that is the actual truth, because a couple of months ago, a building collapsed in Banana Island.
A 7-story building in Banana Island area of Lagos has collapsed, leaving a few construction workers injured. This is according to the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Engineer Tayo Bamoshe Martins, and he said the building was an unapproved 7-floor building.
Somebody who is buying land of over $1 billion, is that a person who does not have money to build or build rightly? But everybody wants to cut costs. And that's why somebody wants to transport furniture from point A to point B. Instead of him to get a truck, he will use bike. You think I'm joking? Watch this. Now, some people even transport cow inside Mikra. It's not a joke. Some people try and push horses inside keke. It's not the joke. That is the kind of people that we are in Nigeria, and I want to help change that. Because you see, building is one investment that is an asset, and so it should keep on increasing in value every single day. But with the way people build, when they try and resell after a while, people will come and look at the building and be like, no, let me offer you this amount because I'm buying it because of the land. Meaning the building has lost its value. But I don't want that to be your own investment. And so let me start by saying one of the very areas where builders cut cost in that should not even be envisaged is the foundation. You see, some people will say, no, let us not go this deep. I've done it in this area, and so, I can continue. The problem is so many things that people do in point A that they try and bring to point B might not work. And that's why you should even be doing soil tests. But let's even agree that you don't want to do soil tests. Ensure that the foundation that you are doing is up to standard, that it can hold the load. But I will advise you to go through the right procedure. Now, let's go to the next step. You see something called damp-proof membrane. Now, this is like nylon. Some people don't even use these things. They just feel like, oh, there is no need for this. The importance of a damp-proof membrane, or a DPC, is to prevent water from seeping from the ground into your building. You don't know how everything is changing. We're experiencing climate change now. Maybe in an area where there was no meant to be flooding, or in an area where water was not disturbing them in a while, water can get to that area. The water level can rise. And if you're not experiencing water in your building before and there is no DPC, water will start percolating. Your floor, the tile will start swelling. The walls, you start seeing green marks, brown marks. The walls are getting wet. Everywhere is getting damp. All because DPC was not used. Don't compromise on these things. Now, DPC is still part of the foundation, so it prevents water seeping from the foundation into your building. Now, the next place where you should not compromise on is plumbing. You see, water, you don't get enemy. Now, lie, water gets enemy when it comes to you as a human being living in your house that you put your hard-earned money in. Imagine you staying in your house and then you see water is leaking from the wall because maybe a pipe was not really fixed well. So when it comes to plumbing, don't look for the cheapest hand, because one thing about Nigerians that I know, my people, you go fishing around for price. And so you ask this person for price, he tells you 2.5. You ask another person 1.8. You now finally ask Babarisi. Babarisi tells you, mole share 800k. You see, 800k that Babarisi is looking, it is his own way of cutting costs. His own way of saying, Ali, manage a lay, we can manage this, that is going to put in your own project. You that you have, you've worked hard, you've made money, you are vibing with people, but because you don't believe that you should spend a certain amount of money in building, so that, if I give Babarisi 800k, the remaining 1 million that somebody wanted to collect, I'll use it and I'll buy tiles. It does not work that way, because sometimes this thing is penny wise, pound foolish, and that's not what you should be doing when you're investing in your house. So you need to get the right set of people so that when you're doing your plumbing, you ensure that it is done with the right set of material, because one of the things that they cut cost on is the material of what you need to do the plumbing in your house. There are standards that you should go through, most especially when you're doing conduit, because when you put something inside the wall, you put something in the floor, when it's leaking, you don't even know where, because some of you don't even have the mechanical plan for your building. Now, mechanical plan means how is your AC piping going to, be laid out? How is the piping of your plumbing system going to be laid out? If you have all these things laid out, if there's any issue, you can look at the mechanical layout and know, okay, let us start by tracing these areas, because the mechanical engineer has put that the pipe should flow this way, this is the positioning of this and that. But how many people even follow that? None. A lot of people build without even having approval. And for you to have approval, you must have your architectural drawing, your mechanical drawing, your electrical drawing. And these are things that I'm telling you because a lot of you watching right now, did not come from the background of people who do things using professionals. Because back in the days, you just have a draftman and then you just have people who just build without following things. I mean, there were no regulations that you needed to follow to build like that as we have right now. And so since things have changed, since things have evolved, that's why I'm happy that you are watching this channel right now, because you can learn some one or two things so that your next project, you ensure that you get it done the right way. Now, the next place where people compromise is workmanship. Now let me tell you something. You see this workmanship that say, let me just get direct labor because I'm looking for how I can cut costs. When you get direct labor and you get somebody who is meant to be supervising the direct labor, if the person you get that is supervising also has multiple jobs to do because the money you are paying is not enough, where would the person's focus be? The person cannot be on your job to ensure that everything goes on well. And so if the workmanship or the workmen that you have on site are not now good and they are working without supervision, what do you think will happen to that project? So a block line that is meant to have been straight will now be crooked. How do you think that is going to be corrected? With cement. So you're meant to use 2 bags of cement before, let's say, to screw the wall. But because the wall has bent and you want it to be straight, you use 4 bags of cement. Somebody who told you, don't worry, we can finish this house with 50 million. You start seeing that as you are going along the way, you spend 50 million, you have not finished the house. You spend 20 million, you are still correcting 25, 35. And that's not what I want for you. So instead of you compromising in some of these areas, you need to calm down and ask, what do I really want in this building that I want to erect? Because even the Bible says, who wants to build a house that will not first think about the cost so that you can finish it? And so because of this, you need to ask yourself what you need to accomplish. If what you're looking for is luxury, do away with all these people that will help you save costs in their own, local way of thinking. If what you're looking for is a house that you would be blemish-free for 10 years, you don't need to do any single maintenance like the door handle spoils, one tap is leaking, there's leakage from the floor here, you don't know where water is coming from, all this, all that, and putting hand on the wall is shocking because the electrical. No. Now, another area is the electrical side. There are different types of wiring. There are different types of wires also. Ensure you have the right set of people so that when your house is being wired, they are not going to put naked wire somewhere that you touch it, you touch the wall and your wall will be shocking, or you want to open tap, the tap is shocking. Then another area is not hiring the right set of people. You see, they'll say architects are expensive. try the cost of ignorance. One thing about architects that you might say we are expensive is we design something, we want to ensure that what we designed comes to life because that's our only bragging right. We were called to design, but you see, the architect has eye for detail. He gets someone and says, no, this wall is not this wall is not well plastered. This wall is not straight. The block is like this. No, the way you've tiled this floor, water is not going to drain well. Water is going to be in that corner. The way you've done this wardrobe, it can tilt, it can fall. The way you've done this, all this kind of attention to detail is why by the consultants on the project to ensure that what we have designed, what you have paid us well, that's when you pay us well, what you have paid us well for, we're ensuring that it is being implemented well. And so now that you know some of these things that you should not be trying to save cost on, I'll be telling you where you can save cost on. But let me add one more thing that people try and save money on, and that is compound level. You see, some people get into an area that is not developed because they are looking for affordable land and development to come to that area. And road has not even been done in that area well. And you don't fill your site up because it will cost you some extra thousands or millions. When government now comes and then they do road, the road is high like this, your building level is like this. When rain falls, how would the water enter the drainage that the government have made? So you need to think about all these things before you say, oh, I'm looking for the cheapest hand. Let's not look for cheap, because if somebody needs to carry out an operation, you are not looking for who is the cheapest doctor, you are looking for who is the best. And when you look for who the best is, obviously the best does not come cheap. And that's how you should treat your building, because it is not something that you are looking at staying in for 1 year or 5 years. It's something that you are looking at staying for a lifetime, most especially if you are building your dream house. And so now that you know the areas where you should not compromise, let me tell you some of the areas where you can decide to compromise but still retain the integrity and the durability of your building, what you use plenty money to build. Number one, you don't need to tile every single wall in your kitchen. And here is why. When you tile every single place in your kitchen, you are increasing the number of cement, the bags of cement that you're going to use, the amount of sand that you're going to add to it. You're increasing the work area that the workmen are going to charge you for. And so when you have a kitchen, you don't need to tile everywhere because the cabinets will cover certain areas. So the areas where cabinets will cover, why spend money? The bottom side that goes around the kitchen, whether it's a U shape, L shape, straight shape, why tile that side when the cabinet is going to cover it? Why tile the upper cabinet behind the upper cabinets when it's going to be covered? All you just need to do is just to cover the areas that would be visible to the eyes. And you don't need your kitchen headroom to be so high that you now have some extra room above the upper cabinets that you say you want to tile. And even if you paint it, there are amazing kitchen designs that are not fully tiled, like this. Now, the second area where you can save money is when it comes to getting the right set of hands. Now, let me explain what this means. You see, when you have the right set of people working for you, you're not doing double job. You're not doing something and then they will send you progress reports and the progress picture. You'll be like, Taju, why have you done this? Why have you done this thing? I told you this wall is not straight. This is not this. Because some of these people, they'll tell you, Emma, worry, ma, shake or fine. Don't worry, I'll do something that is very fine. You will like it. Emma, like it, go. Don't do that kind of thing. When you have the right set of people, from the beginning to the end, you know this is how much money that you're going to spend. And so you're not looking at fixing something. So when you have the right set of people, you're not fixing, and so it saves you money in the long run. The number 3 place where you can save money is the quality of tiles that you use in the whole house. You see, you don't need to use Spanish tiles everywhere. You don't need to use Italian tiles everywhere. You don't need to use CDK everywhere. You can mix it. The areas where people walk in and be like, wow, your house is amazing. You can, use high-end finishes in that area and your master bedroom. But you see, all these other spaces where people would not come in contact with, you can use a lower grade tile, maybe Nigerian tiles. We have very fine Nigerian tiles now. So if you are changing, instead of you buying tiles of 5,000 naira per square meter, you can do 2,000 naira per square meter. If you calculate it, that saves you a whole lot of money. Another place where you can compromise is the furniture inside your house. Don't be buying all these big bogus furniture that will take up the whole sitting room. You can do custom made furniture that are not so expensive, and they are amazing. They look fantastic, and they're cheaper than all these big bogus furnitures that will just take up space and will just look tacky. So these areas might not seem like much, but when you look at what you've been able to avoid by getting the right set of hands and you're not spending double, when you budget something, you will be able to spend within that budget without going above. And so I hope I've been able to let you know areas where you can compromise, areas where you should not even think about compromising, so that when the next time you're ready to build, you're doing it the right way. And that's why you're watching this channel. That's why you're subscribing. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so that you don't make certain kind of mistakes that I have spoken about. And also, if you go through my channel, you'll see that I've posted works that I've completed. Because if you're asking, what has this guy done? You can see the level of works when it comes to design and implementation. You can see the kind of advice that I'm giving. This is advice that I know is going to help in the long run. So if you enjoy this kind of content and you've not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe so that you can get all these kind of videos, and turn on the post notification so that immediately I drop a banger like this, you will be the first to be notified, and you can watch and get educated, implement some of the advice that I give, and good stuff like that. And I would love to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.